I have been playing the game Hunt for the New Stone. This game has only two levels, and I would say the game should be played at the age of 14 between 16. This game is available for everyone. There is no age limitation, and you have free access to the game. There is even no software needed, and you don't even have to do anything with the keyboard. The whole game is basically a click game, and so you just need your mouse. This game is a basic introduction to aspects of ancient Islamic history as well as basic Arabic phrases. As you can see, the mission is explained at the beginning of the game, and I want to give you a short introduction about the game as well. Hunt for the New Stone deals with the mission of traveling back in time to the ancient cities Baghdad and Cordoba, and the goal of this game is to find the hidden holy Noor stone before Rugal can find it. Rugal is the enemy, the antagonist, and he is part man and part evil spirit. The game includes some icons which can be considered while playing. For example, there is a visual MP3 player which can save new Arabic phrases, and you can listen to it afterwards if you want to. Then there is a notepad which also saves the Arabic phrases, but also hints and clues from the people. Furthermore, there is an hourglass, a riddle script, and a green question mark for the player if he or she wants to know how to play the game. And there is a main menu icon as well. In the following, in my game reflection, I will focus on the following aspects. Description. This means I will try to analyze the characters and the setup. The availability, the language, and the realism, whether the game is realistic or not. Furthermore, I will tell you something about the learning aspect, and finally, there will be a conclusion at the end. Now, we start with level 1. As I already mentioned before, the game takes place in the ancient cities Baghdad and Cordoba. So there are two maps in this game. Right now you can see the map of Baghdad, and both maps have those very beautiful ornaments. On this map of Baghdad, there are 5 institutions. There is the courthouse of Baghdad, a university, a library, a port, and a palace of the Khalifa. The names of the institutions on this map are quite easy to understand. When playing the game, you are already confronted with Arabic words. For example, you can see here there is the word Assalamu alaikum, and you have to show interest and ask what this word means. Otherwise, you will not get help from the people. You then rather have to leave the game because it is rude to be not interested in the other culture and language. Furthermore, these words are necessary afterwards, so it's better for you if you memorize those words. So you see, if you are interested in learning the Arabic language and culture, you are welcomed and you will get help. Here you can see a riddle which is given by this man, and he tells you to find someone else who can help solving this riddle because the man is not able to do it. I noticed that there are sometimes 2 questions given, and you have to think twice and decide which one is more important and should be asked because Rugal is also trying to find the new stone, and you should save time. Now we are in the university, and as you can see, I have to use the Arabic words which were taught to me before. And if you click on the wrong Arabic word, for example, there comes this message: sorry traveler, come back here after you have learned the proper word. Goodbye. So you can see the knowledge which is taught to you is very important in order to reach the aim and go one step further. Then there are taught other important words like shukran, which means thank you, or afwan, which means you are welcome. So it is good to memorize these words as well. After doing this, the scholar also tries to help the traveler to solve the riddle. And as I mentioned before, in each institution you will meet a scholar who tries to help solving the riddle and gives you hints who to ask further. So you travel from one institution to another until you find the person who finally helps you solving the riddle. At the courthouse, the player is forced to read the problems of the citizens because he has to answer questions concerning this issue as well. Therefore, the player is supposed to read and understand the problems of the citizens, otherwise he cannot go on. The whole setup of the game is very ancient and oriental. For example, the cities, the clothing style of the people you meet during your journey, as you can see at this picture, and the background music is also very oriental, which you cannot hear unfortunately. In the last institution, the library, the player has to answer 3 questions correctly in order to finish the first level. As you can see, 2 of these questions deal with the Arabic words which were introduced early and which you have to know in order to pass the test. And so you have to know what shukran means and how the king is called in the Arabic language. The third question was also taught during the first level, so at the end you have to undergo a short test about all the knowledge which was transmitted to you during the game. Now you can see I have finished level 1 successfully and I have gained the Noor Stone of Wisdom, but in order to reach the Noor Stone I have to play level 2. Now you can see the map of Cordoba, which also includes 5 institutions: the beauty school, observatory, a mosque, a philosopher's house, and a music school. I think the names of the institutions on this map are perhaps a little bit difficult to understand because they are in Arabic and therefore it is difficult to know where to go. When starting playing level 2, you can see that the basic Arabic words which were taught in the first level are needed in the second level as well. For example, it is necessary to know what Assalamu alaikum means or what you have to say after shukran and so on. And again, you have to be interested in asking the people about their lifestyle, culture, and as you can see, you also get very interesting answers. In the Blackbird Beauty School, you have to read carefully what the woman says about the inventions of an Arabic man, and it is good to memorize the transmitted knowledge. At the end of level 2, there are 5 questions which you as a player have to answer. Again, these questions deal with all the knowledge which was taught during level 2. And at the end of level 1, there were only 3 questions, and now at the end of level 2, we have 5 questions, which are also a bit more difficult. The first question is, where do Muslims pray? And the right answer is mosques. The second question is, Muslim scholars studied philosophy from what country? And the right answer is Greece. The third question is, what game did Ziryab help bring to Europe? And the right answer is chess. The fourth question is, which of these hygienic products did Ziryab not introduce to Europe? And the right answer is shampoo. And the fifth and last question is, which of these dietary products did Ziryab not introduce to Europe? And the right answer is napkins. And if you answer all these questions right, you will get a new stone. So after getting the right answers, you finally get the new stone, and level 2 is completed at the game, and the game is over. About the characters, I can say that only Rugal is introduced at the beginning. All other persons appear during the whole game, but they are very nice, helpful, and attentive. They seem to be tolerant because they welcome the traveler with open arms. In order to help the player finding the moonstone, they expect that the traveler is interested in learning their language, their culture, and religion. The whole game is in English, and therefore English skills are needed so that you are able to play the game. But the game uses a lot of Arabic phrases, so this game is a good introduction for learning some Arabic words. The player has to memorize these words or phrases in order to answer the questions of the respective scholar at the end of each level and to finally get the moonstone. I personally think that the game is not necessarily a good game for improving English skills because the focus of this game is to provide the Arabic language. The setting, the location of the game is interesting, and I really loved it. But it was unrealistic to travel back in time. The storyline itself is also fiction and not realistic. But nevertheless, it makes still fun to play the game. It is quite interesting to see Arabic people and how they are dressed, and to see colorful imaginary pictures of the institutions which might motivate the player. The Arabic phrases are correct and obviously true, and I could identify myself with this culture and language, so that I really like the location. Well, at least I like everything. Another aspect which was very well done and realistic was the point that some important inventions were mentioned, which we still use today in the modern world, and I think these are very effective information for the general knowledge. The game has some learning goals. First, a lot of Arabic words are introduced, and in order to pass through the whole game, it is important to learn these phrases. Therefore, it is a good introduction to get to know another culture and religion. Um, Having a look at our society, we can realize that we live with mixed people from different nations and cultures. And religion is a point as well, which distinguishes people from each other, but they still live together in a mixed society. And so considering all these, it is very important to know about each other, or at least about the language or culture or religion in order to live in harmony. And this game enables players to gain an insight in a different culture and religion. And as I mentioned before, it is a basic introduction to aspects of ancient Islamic history and also the Arabic phrases. This game furthermore shows a very tolerant perspective towards people with other religions, and it also shows that it is possible to cooperate with these people. For example, in the game there was mentioned that Muslims and Christians pray together in a room. So one of the goals of this game might be to be tolerant after playing this game. To sum everything up, the game Hunt for the New Stone as a whole is a very interesting and a nice game, which is easy to play and which conveys tolerance and cooperation between people with different background. It also teaches some great knowledge which can be helpful for further life. So it has some great learning goals, and in some cases, reading comprehension is needed in order to reach the next step. I would like to make some suggestions in order to improve the game and make it better. For example, there could be added more levels and maps, and by doing so, there could be more questions and more Arabic phrases. Currently, it is only possible to play the game twice or three times, because after that the game gets boring, because everyone knows the answers of the questions. So you just need 15 or even 10 minutes to play the game. Furthermore, by having more levels, there could be introduce other religions, um, so that we can learn about others as well. What I didn't like was the point that the protagonist as well as the antagonist was never present. The antagonist, Rugal, seemed unimportant to me during the whole game process. It would be very helpful and more motivating if the player gets to know where Rugal is situated, because there is no hint about his actions. Furthermore, there could be also a countdown or something like this to really show that he is getting closer to the North Stone. In order to design the game more creative and motivating, there should be a figure walking around across the map as the protagonist, and this could give the game a nice atmosphere because there are no moving characters. There is no real action going on. There's always the same action. You enter an institution and then you are welcomed in the Arabic language, and you have to always ask almost the same question about the moonstone and the riddle. But nevertheless, I really like the game, although it could be improved.